Hello and welcome, my dear friends. Today we are going to talk about another question which was there in your UPSC ethics paper. Impact of digital technology as reliable source of input for rational decision making is debatable issue. Critically evaluate with suitable example. Here in this question, the first thing is digital technology. Second one is reliable source. Third is rational decision making. These three things we have to understand clearly. Whenever we say digital technology, there are plenty of digital technologies which are being used nowadays. For example, blockchain technology is being used in cryptocurrency. We are using a tally package of accounting in office accounting purposes or for inventory management and all. We are also using computers, simulation techniques, we are using internet. There are so many things which we are using for our decision making purposes. Now the question is that whether that digital technology is going to provide us reliable source of input for our rational decision making. So I hope you have understood the digital technology. First, we have to just give some examples of digital technologies which are normally being used in our offices, in our organizations. Now, second aspect is rational decision making. Whenever we say decision making will have two components. Remember, decision making will have two components. One is fact. Another one is value. Now, whenever we take a decision based on fact, reliability goes high because we are using the fact-based decision making process. And whenever we use the value, in that case we have to understand whether that would be reliable or not. Now, rationality will have a means and construct. The means and end construct, or you can say cause and effect relationship. If you can find out the cause for a particular effect, then that is a rational decision making. If you have a means for a particular end, that is called rational decision making. So cause and effect relationship has to be understood. If we can understand that yes, this particular step is to be taken for this particular consequence, if you know the consequence after taking a particular decision, after taking a particular step, that means we can say that that particular decision making is based on fact, or the reliability goes high, the rationality component goes high. Now, question is that whether we can use digital technology as reliable source of input for rational decision making. We have understood rationality. Rationality means we can find out the cause and effect relationship. There is a means and end construct. And as I said, that decision making can be of two types. One is based on fact, another one would be based on values, and there may be a mixture of these two, value and fact together. Let us understand one by one. Supposing we are using a tally program for accounting purposes or for inventory management in an organization, that would give you a very much reliable source, and you can take a rational decision on the basis of that tally package. Whatever tally package gives you information, like one is that You'll be able to know the profit of the organization. You'll be able to know the total assets of the organizations, the total inventory or stock of the organization. So obviously that would be a very much reliable source. Tally package will give you a reliable source for your rational decision making. This is one. Secondly, if you are using blockchain technology, for example, in cryptocurrency, then also you can say that that is a reliable source of input for rational decision making. That is also okay. But there are certain areas where the rational decision making is not possible, uh, even if that particular input is coming from digital technology. Say for example, social media. There are so many inputs which we get from the social media, which we cannot use as a reliable input for our rational decision making. So two aspects. One is that yes, rational decision making is possible if the digital technology is reliable, say for example blockchain technology. But again, there are certain areas where we cannot have the reliability for our rational decision making. So very simply, if we can understand that if the decision making is programmed, if the decision making is very much routine, day to day, then the digital technology can be used as a source of input for rational decision making. But if the decision making is something which is novel, completely new, not programmed, then of course we cannot use digital technology as an input for rational decision making, because digital technology will give you three things. One is the generation of data, second one is processing that data, and third one is store of that data. Now if there is something which is completely new, which has never been heard of, in that case digital technology will not give you much result. For example, when coronavirus for the first time administration witnessed or experienced coronavirus, the decisions that the administration had to take, for example, hospital administration had to take so many decisions, the police administration had to take so many decisions. When for the first time COVID-19 came into existence, uh, at that point of time digital technology will not give you much help, because something which is completely new, there is no history sheet, there is no track record on the basis of which the administrator can take decision making, and therefore those decisions cannot be taken on the basis of the past record, on the basis of the previous data, and in that case the digital technology may not be of much use for decision making. Another aspect is that administrators not only take decisions on the basis of facts. There are certain areas, there are certain situations where the administrator has to take certain decisions on the basis of, one is say for example intuition, on the basis of say discretion. So if the administrator is taking a decision on the basis of his or her intuition, on the basis of his or her discretion, in that case digital technology will not be of any use, because digital technology will be helpful only when the rule based routine kind of decisions are taken, something where discretion is there and the administrator has to apply his understanding considering the situations and circumstances, there the digital technology may not be of much help. This is one thing you have to understand. Second one is, as I've said, when the intuition is there, something that administrator at that point of time is thinking about taking decision, there also the digital technology may not be of much use. Another dimension which we can use here, that is when I say rational, because rational is basically where we can find out the cause for a particular effect, or you can say there is a means to achieve a particular end, that is rational. But there are certain decisions where which cannot be categorized under rational decision making category. Those decisions can be beyond rational kind of a thing. So rational is basically fact based, rational is fact based, but there are certain decisions which are based on values or preferences. Now values or preferences, these are not facts. Say for example, faith. Faith is something which is a value, which is not a fact. Now, if the administrator is thinking about spending money for the hospital administration, then we can have a fact-based decision making, because by having hospitals, more and more hospitals, the administrator will be able to reduce the IMR rate, MMR rate, death rate. So quite logical, quite rational, anybody can understand. If the administrator thinks about spending money for the schools, for the construction of the school buildings, then of course the literacy rate will go up, the enrollment ratio will go up. So one can understand the cause and effect for in this particular cases. But if the administrator is thinking of spending money for the construction of a mandir, for example, temple, now in that case this particular decision may or may not be categorized under rational decision making bracket, because construction of a mandir or temple is basically a decision which has been taken on the basis of the faith. You cannot ensure that if the temple is constructed, what will be the possible consequences directly, because faith is something which is not which cannot be quantified or which cannot be statistically proved. Now this is called a decision which is based on beyond rational. It is not irrational, it is not irrational, it is rational but beyond rational kind of a concept. So in those cases the administrator will not find any help from the digital technology, because faith, belief, conscience, these are certain things which cannot be statistically proved. So to conclude, you can say that yes, there are certain areas where the rational decision making is possible with the help of the inputs that we get from the digital technology, as I have said, tally package in accounting or blockchain technology in your cryptocurrency. But there are certain areas where the decision making cannot be made on the basis of the inputs which we get from the digital technology, if the digital technology itself is not reliable. For example, if you are making a decision with the help of the inputs that you get from the social media or certain other areas of digital technology which are not very much reliable, then of course the decision making cannot be rational. Or I can give you one more example from the sports. The DRS technology which is being used in this sports to decide whether there will be an LBW decision is something which is being questioned, which is being debated upon. And that digital technology, DRS technology itself is not foolproof. And therefore, the decision that is taken on the basis of the DRS technology in cricket is questionable. So that example can also be given. And as I have said, that certain decisions which are programmed, which cannot be programmed, which are routine kind of decisions, which are very much statistical based or fact based, digital technology will come handy. But those decisions which are value based, which are preference based, where there is an involvement of intuition, where there is an involvement of discretionary power on the part of the decision makers, there the digital technology may not be of much help. As I have said, that construction of a temple, the decision taken by the administration for spending money for the construction of the temple is something which does not come within the bracket of the rational decision making. That's a beyond rational concept where you cannot have the cause and effect, but there's a reason and effect relationship involved here. Cause and effect relationship is possible in rational decision making, but if there's a reason and then corresponding effect, so if there's a reason and effect relationship is involved, then you can call that is something which is beyond rational decision making but very much justified. That's all for today. We'll meet some other day with some other question. Thank you.